What's going on, guys? This is how I beat the global tournament in Clash Royale. Alright, hopping in the first match, we're going to be using Hog Earthquake with Giant Skeleton. So this is probably the best Hog deck in Clash Royale by quite a good amount right now. Just like a really solid deck and works quite well on both ladder and global tournaments alike. So yeah, in the first match, this guy's probably going to be playing some type of lava deck, seeing the Skelly Drags. That's really the only deck in the meta that actually uses Skelly Drags still. He's going to counter our Giant Skeleton pretty well there with the Inferno Dragon. So I'm just going to have to kite his Inferno Dragon with a Hog Rider here. We don't really have any really other good response to it besides that Hog Rider, because I can't really waste my Queen right now, because I know that he has, yeah, probably like Lava in his deck, and our really only good air defensive option is actually going to be the Archer Queen, so we have to pretty much always save it. And yeah, he's going to go with a pretty aggressive Balloon there. Not really too sure why I went with the Balloon, because it kind of just allowed our cannon to really get quite a ton of value there, destroying his barbs, and also just kind of killing that Balloon. Or just like allowing that Balloon to be pretty well distracted. And yeah, he's going to have to respond to this Queen. He's going to use a Lava right into it. So I guess I'll take it. I think the Queen's still going to do quite a ton of damage to it. I'm going to pressure with a Giant Skeleton in the opposite lane because he wasted his barbs. So I don't really think he has any way to stop this. He will go with a Miner right there. We can also log it though. So that should be able to hopefully allow our Giant Skeleton to kind of get on his tower for a bit. And I'm going to go with the High Cannon here just to like block his Inferno Dragon for a second. It's going to allow our tower to retarget on his Inferno Dragon. And if we can get a really good Fire Spirit, we might still be alive. Okay, Inferno Dragon is going to take most of our tower right there. Couldn't really do anything about it, but we are still alive right here for sure. And he will go with the Balloon on our tower in the left lane. I know it's going to get one shot on our tower, but the Balloon doesn't do as much damage as it used to do. So I'm not really too worried about that. We're still going to have the counter pushing Queen as well, which probably will take his tower here unless he wants to like commit 5 elixir with like barbs or something like that. So yeah, just going to let it go right there. And I think I'm just going to pop my ability here as well, just to like damage down his King Tower quite a bit. There is a chance we could even 3-crown him if he keeps on like letting our units kind of go towards his King Tower. And he's going to play the Lava in the back right there. So I'm going to play my Hog Rider in the right lane here just to like get some good damage on his tower in case it's like a 2-tower game. It most likely will be a 2-tower game because I don't really see how we're going to defend our tower here against like these Skelly Drags. I'm going to try my best, but I'm not really too sure if we can actually really do too much. I'm going to also go with the Hog Rider right here just to kind of pull the Skelly Drags a little bit backwards right there. Really good Queen right here. I think it should kill the Inferno Dragon and also hopefully target on the Balloon after that. I'm not sure if it'll be enough to take out the actual Balloon though before it takes out most of our tower here. Okay, looks like Fire Spirit will come down right there, so I'm going to just barely stop that Balloon. He'll go with a Miner there in the back. Also going to kind of get this little push going in the right lane right here, and his Balloon is going to come down here, so I think the Balloon will probably come down on our tower in time, so I don't really think we can stop that. I'm just going to go with the Hog Rider right here. We do have a Giant Skeleton kind of supporting the Hog Rider, and I think the Death Bomb should be able to kill those Skelly Drags right there, so really good for us. He's going to go with an Inferno Dragon in the pocket, kind of predicting our Queen, I guess, but I think Queen might still get a little bit of chip damage. You're going to go with an Earthquake as well. Okay, this is going to be a really close game, and honestly, this is a really hard matchup, so I'm really surprised we even made it this close, even if we do end up winning here. So I'm going to play my Fire Spirit here. He's going to have to play something on it. I'm going to go with my Log here on his Miner, just to like kind of push it back, and he wasted his barbs right there really early, so a little bit of a bad play by him, and I think our Hog should be able to take it right here. Yeah, Hog is going to get one swing right there, so really nice swing. Alright, and hopping in the next match here, you guys are going to be in for a treat right here. I did face this guy earlier in the global tournament, and I'm pretty sure he's playing Lumberloon Freeze right here, which is a super difficult matchup for this deck, because you only have Cannon as your kind of distraction unit for his balloons, and you only have Queen as your air defense, as I was like saying in the previous match, so really hard against most air decks, but I'm kind of happy to be facing them here in this video just to like show you guys how to beat them, because Hog really does have quite a lot of outplay potential. Like you can really beat any deck with this Hog deck if you play well enough, but definitely are some really hard matchups such as this, and I'm going to be pretty aggressive here at the start with my Giant Skeleton and stuff, just because I know this guy has like a pretty good counter to us, so I kind of just want to be a little bit more aggressive than usual, just to make sure that we can hopefully get like a pretty good start here, because we're definitely going to need a really good single elixir just to make sure that we can actually have like a good chance at winning. So he's going to go with the Freeze right there on our Queen, also going to go with the Barbell, so couldn't really do anything about that. I guess I'll take it though, because it is 6 elixir just on that Archer Queen right there, so yeah, I think it's going to leave us in a fine spot right here. I'm going to go with the Giant Skeleton right at the bridge right now, and also a Hog Rider followed up behind it. Might be pretty hard for him to stop right here. I know he has a little bit of an awkward cycle. He's going to go with the Bowler there, as well as the Inferno Dragon, but I think our Death Bomb should be able to kind of kill most of it. Yeah, not really going to kill everything, but it is going to kind of take most of his stuff down to like half HP, so I think we should be maybe okay here on the defensive end, but if he does pull out the Freeze, that could be pretty deadly for us, so I'm gonna also go with an Archer Queen here just to make sure nothing happens with his you know, freezes or anything like that. I don't even know if he has freeze and cycle, to be honest, but better to be safe than sorry. It looks like he does have Electro Dragon right here. I'm gonna just pop my Queen ability. He's gonna go with the freeze on it. And potentially could activate our King Tower here against his E-Drag if he doesn't play anything else. Okay, he's gonna play a Barbaro there. Kind of unfortunate for us. I wanted to actually activate our King Tower there against his E-Drag, but he doesn't really allow us to do that. So I guess I'll take it, because it's still gonna kind of force him to spend that 2 extra elixir. I don't really know if we can stop his Inferno Dragon here. It's probably gonna, yeah, kind of finish off our skeleton, no, giant skeleton right there. Yeah, so, yeah, this could be pretty difficult to defend. He might play a balloon behind it. Looks like he's just gonna go with a freeze instead there. So gonna give us a pretty good giant skeleton opportunity. And honestly, Queen is getting quite a ton of value right here. So really love to see it. Gonna also go with the Hog Rider here just to pressure a little bit more. Gonna kind of distract this Barbaro with a set of skeletons as well. And luckily for us, the Queen isn't really getting chained onto too much by his E-Drag. We'll get a few chain shots right there, but Queen is still gonna apply some pretty good counter push right here. Gonna pop the ability as well. He'll go with a bowler right onto it, it looks like, and bowler is gonna end up killing it right there, but pretty much a dead bowler for him, so I'll definitely take it. Gonna Earthquake his bowler as well. Might be able to finish it off, hopefully. Yeah, just barely gonna finish it off. I'm also gonna play my Queen behind this giant skeleton just to make sure we can kind of kill his air units. He'll go with the freeze right there though, so honestly his freezes are pretty hard for us against these queens that we're using, because it pretty much doesn't allow us to play our ability at all, so that's pretty rough for us right here. But I'm gonna go with another Hog Rider. Gonna force out the bowler right there. So yeah, I'm gonna play my giant skeleton right here. If he goes with like a lumberjack balloon in the opposite lane, we do also have like Queen and a cannon to kind of defend it, so I think we should be looking pretty good here on the defensive end. But it is about to be triple elixir though, so that's really where it's gonna be his time to shine. So I'm definitely a little bit worried here. It's gonna go with the lumberjack balloon push right now. I'm gonna cycle another cannon here, so the cannon should be able to kind of pull it all across the arena. And the Queen plus hog push is kind of raining down on his tower right there. Queen is gonna lock on. He's gonna go with the freeze right there, but I don't think it's going to be enough right there. Queen is going to still get a few more shots on his tower. Hog is going to come down there on his tower as well and going to land a few shots, and that will be a good game. Alright, hopping in the next match, we're going to be up against Morton, who is one of the best players in the game right now. Definitely going to be a hard matchup, really no matter what deck he's playing right here. He does have Tombstone. Earthquake is going to come down a little bit late right there, but it still will kill the skeletons. Going to allow our Hog to get one nice shot right there. So he does have Skelly King as well. Not really too sure what he's playing here, because most of the top players in the global tournament actually try to snipe each other, because you can only really face people that are within like 1 win of you in the global tournament, so it's pretty easy to know who you're going to face next, and oftentimes people will take advantage of that, especially like at the very top of the global tournaments. So it does have Megamine here as well, also a Miner, so probably going to be some type of lava deck here. A lot of lava decks in this global tournament, it looks like, and lava is definitely one of the harder matchups for Hog, but we're going to see if we can outplay him right here. But he definitely is one of the best in the world, so definitely won't be easy at all right here. And Queen going to do a super good job against that lava. Going to pressure with the Hog as well, but might be super difficult to defend this lava push just because of those Skelly drags kind of standing behind the lava. But wow, a super good Fire Spirit right there. Can't believe that hit almost all of the lava pups right there. Wow, super good defense pass, but it's definitely not over yet, because it'll be really hard to defend his big lava pushes in double elixir especially. I think it should be quite nice for us to have Giant Skeleton in this matchup, because it's going to kind of like block up the lane, and the Death Bomb does actually kill Skeleton Dragons, so that's kind of one nice thing going for us right here. I'm going to play my Giant Skeleton in the back against his Megamine, just to make sure that if he goes with like a lava in front of it, it's going to pretty much just be like a lone lava, because any support troops he plays behind it are just going to get pretty much destroyed. He'll play a Skelly King in the back as well, also a Flying Machine, but I think most of the stuff should be able to die to the Giant Skeleton Death Bomb, hopefully. And Queen should also kind of help taking out all of his units right here. I don't even need to pop my Queen ability just yet, because the tower isn't actually targeting the Archer Queen. I'm also going to go with the Hog Rider in the opposite lane. I was kind of predicting that he would go with the lava right at that time. Really good log as well on his Tombstone. I was pretty sure he would play the Tombstone right there, so really well played by us predicting one of the best players in the world, which definitely isn't easy to do. And yeah, Giant Skeleton's going to kind of block the lane right here against his Megamine. Just going to like tank everything really well, and should be able to kind of kill most of his support units, hopefully. Okay, the Giant Skeleton did kind of wander a little bit far right there, so I don't think the Death Bomb is actually going to hit anything. We could be in a little bit of trouble right here. Okay, he does get his Skelly King ability down right there. I'm going to play my Giant Skeleton, also the log right here, and that's going to be a super juicy Giant Skeleton Death Bomb right there. Yeah. And at this point he's going to play his Skelly Drags, kind of in panic here, but I think Earthquake should be able to finish off his tower here, so that'll be good game. Alright, and hopping in the next match here, I'm not really sure what this guy's playing, so I'm just going to go with my Hog first play just to see what he does. He'll play a Bomber in the back right there, also a set of E-Barbs. So I think it could be a Golem deck in this match. I'm not really too sure like what else runs Bomber and E-Barbs. I don't really think anything else does except like some off-meta E-Giant decks potentially, but more likely going to be Golem here. Probably like a Golem Night Witch deck if I had to guess. So he's going to have an Archer Queen as well. That's pretty rare to see in Golem decks. I'm kind of confused at this point, but as I said before, like this is the global tournament where people often snipe each other, so that could have been the case here that this guy just tried to put the Archer Queen in there just to like snipe some air deck possibly, or something like that. Not really too sure. I'm going to go with another Hog Rider right here. He doesn't have E-Barbs in cycle, so I'm not really sure how he's going to defend it. He'll go with the Skarmy right there. Kind of unfortunate for us. I didn't predict it. Didn't really know what his deck actually was. And he does have Golem here as well, so could be pretty difficult to defend. I'm just going to play my Giant Skeleton in the back right here, just to like hopefully block up most of the lane. Even if he plays like some support behind it, he'll still get kind of wrecked by the Giant Skeleton Death Bomb. It looks like he's going to play his Night Witch behind it, but I don't really think it's going to be too useful for him because it will mostly die to our Giant Skeleton Death Bomb. And I'm also going to go with my Queen kind of off to the side right here, just hopefully like snipe the Night Witch after it gets a few shots on the Golem right there. And also I'm not really sure what spell he has. He could have Fireball, he could also have Lightning still. You never really know what crazy Golem decks you're going to face in the global tournament, so I can't really be too sure. Better to be safer than sorry. Yeah, super clean defense right there. I was a little bit scared when I saw his Archer Queen come down as well, but was able to defend really nicely here. And yeah, in a little bit of an awkward spot right now. I'm just going to cycle my Earthquake because I don't really want to play my Hog straight into a set of E-Barbs. So that's pretty fine for us here. And I'm going to go with my Giant Skeleton in the back in this lane just to kind of force him to spend stuff in that lane. He'll go with the Golem in the back, so I'm going to push with Hog Rider right away just to like hopefully make him spend something. He'll play his Archer Queen there, but it does come down quite late, so I think Hog will get a ton of damage. Gonna get 4 shots right there, really good for us, and he'll still have to respond to our Giant Skeleton, so should be quite nice right here. Okay, somehow his Queen actually kind of walks back there into our Giant Skeleton. Not really too sure how that ended up happening right there, but yeah, this could be really difficult to defend. I'm gonna go with the second cannon right here right in front of our King Tower, and hopefully the E-Barbs do go for the cannon. Okay, it's actually really bad right now. E-Barb is gonna lock on the tower. I'm gonna hopefully push it off with a Giant Skeleton. Okay, good Giant Skeleton there, and wow, the Golem might actually walk straight towards our King Tower, so that's really good for us. And yeah, I think he has to play something to protect his Night Witch right here, or else the Queen should be able to kill it. He's going to play a Golem right there, but actually not going to get it down in time there, so Queen will end up killing his Night Witch, which is pretty much the heart of a Golem push, so his Golem shouldn't be like too hard to defend right here. He'll play a Golem and the Skarmy behind it right there, just to kind of distract our Giant Skeleton, so going to work out decently for him, but I think the bomb should be able to kill most of his stuff. And his E-Barbs are kind of getting wrecked by our Giant Skeleton here, and for some reason he does decide to play the Queen in the opposite lane there. Not really too sure why he did that, because he has so much more damage in the right lane, so I don't really think it makes too much sense for him to do that, but Golem players are Golem players, after all. He does play his E-Barbs against our Hog Rider. I think the Death Bomb should be able to hit most of this stuff. I'm not really going to hit the E-Barbs there, kind of unfortunately, but still going to deal most of the damage to the Night Witch. His prediction arrows there kind of fail as well, and Archer Queen is doing absolute work here. King Tower is helping out just a little bit as well. Archer Queen is just going to barely stay alive. He has also Zap our Archer Queen, so it does end up dying there, but I'm going to pressure with my Giant Skeleton plus Hog Rider. Should be able to hopefully get quite a ton of damage right here. Not sure if we can finish his tower or not, because his Night Witch will do quite a lot of damage to our Hog, but we do get him in pretty much Earthquake range here. Going to need like one more Earthquake, I think, to finish him off here, so just going to like cycle quickly with my cannon, and also going to BM him just a little bit for being a Golem player, and that will be good game. Alright, hopping in the next match, we're going to be up against OP Sam. So he's actually a really good pro player in Clash Royale. I think he plays for the team SK, and he's, yeah, very solid player. I think he got a number 1 finish before, so definitely going to be an interesting match here. He was like right around the same wins as me, so I'm not sure if he sniped me or not, because it is pretty rare to see a Goblin Cage in a deck nowadays. I feel like Goblin Cage isn't really used too much anymore, so I'm not really sure what he's playing. Unfortunately, his Goblin Brawl does get one shot on our tower. I didn't really expect that. I haven't really seen too much Goblin Cage recently, so I'm not really sure like what all of the interactions for it are going to be. He does have Giant Skeleton here as well, so I'm not really too sure what he's playing still. It could be like a graveyard deck potentially, which could have been a snipe to us. He has also cycled his Dark Prince in the back, so I'm going to pressure with my Queen right here. Should be able to get quite a lot of value. He wasted his Giant Skeleton, Dark Prince, and Goblin Cage, so He was forced to lightning right there on our Archer Queen, which is pretty good for us. Going to be a +1 elixir trade. I'm going to finish off his Dark Prince there with the set of skeletons. Yeah, so there's a Fisherman here as well, which is pretty unfortunate for us that he does have quite a few hog counters in the Fisherman and the Goblin cage. Probably also a few other things that we haven't seen yet. And yeah, it could also be an RG deck. Probably going to be like RG or Graveyard right here. Not really sure which one. I'm going to distract his Fisherman with the Fire Spirit. You're going to cycle an Earthquake as well, because we're in a little bit of an awkward cycle. But yeah, also seeing the Lightning there, I think it probably is going to be an RG deck after all, which could be a pretty hard matchup, seeing that he has the Goblin cage as well. Normally Hog Rider can do pretty well against most RG decks, but when they have the Goblin cage, it does become a pretty hard matchup, so not really too sure how we're going to win this, seeing that he does also have like the Lightning for our Archer Queen and like his Giant Skeleton for our Giant Skeleton. Could be pretty difficult here. At least the Queen does get a little bit of chip damage on his Giant Skeleton though, and his Giant Skeleton's also going to get shot by our tower right now, so pretty good for us right here. I think I'm going to set up a cannon against his Dark Prince. Don't really have any other play to do. We can't really push into a Dark Prince with our Hog Rider, but I'm going to kind of distract a little bit right there with our Hog after it kind of crossed, and I'm going to go with the Fire Spirit as well just to distract his Dark Prince for a second longer. Alright, so his Goblin Brawler is probably going to be pretty much dead to our tower, so I'm just going to push in the right lane right now with the Giant Skeleton. And his tower did target it for a second right there, but it kind of got pushed back, so luckily for us it actually doesn't get hit by his tower for too long. And his Giant Skeleton Death Bomb will probably kill most of our push right here, but it's still going to get our Giant Skeleton Death Bomb on his units, and we can also pop our Queen ability right here, hopefully kill most of his stuff. He's going to have to spend the Barbaril as well. I do kind of want to be in a little bit more of a damage lead than I am in right now though, because it is almost going to be double elixir. It's going to be super hard to defend his really big Giant Skeleton RG pushes, and yeah, pretty much for all of these decks here, it's really hard to defend in double elixir compared to single elixir. I know I keep saying that pretty much every match, but it really is true. Okay, and luckily for us right there, the Hog Rider kind of bypassed his Goblin cage. We Earthquaked it down anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much. And I think our Giant Skeleton Death Bomb should get quite a ton of value right here. Going to kill pretty much everything right there. And our Giant Skeleton is going to kind of clog up the lane, so he does have to go with the RG in the back of the opposite lane right there. And yeah, I think I'm going to go with the Hog Rider behind this Giant Skeleton. He does go with the Archer Queen, but should still mostly die to our Giant Skeleton Death Bomb, I think. He's also going to pop the ability there. Hog will get 2 shots on his tower, and I'm going to have to play my Giant Skeleton on his RG push right here. It should be pretty okay for defense. I'm not sure if it's going to fully defend everything. His Fisherman does do a pretty good job right there though, so I'm going to have to go with an Archer Queen as well, just to make sure we don't take like too much damage here. But our Hog did get quite a ton of damage on his tower, so we're already up to a pretty good double elixir, but it's almost going to be triple elixir by now, so didn't even realize that. I think my Queen should be able to do most of the health of the Giant Skeleton right there. Maybe not most of it, but like half of it, or even more than half of it, so should be pretty good for us right there to kind of allow our Giant Skeleton to counter push a little bit. And unfortunately we have Drag Glitch right there for a second, not really going to be the best for us right there. I kind of want to play a Hog Rider behind our first Giant Skeleton right there, but I guess it should be okay here. Going to go with my Queen ability as well, but he does go with the Lightning on everything. Really good Lightning by him, but I think we should be able to be okay here on defense. His RG might get 1 shot. Yeah, we'll get 1 shot right there. Queen is going to kind of do a good job at distracting his Dark Prince right there. I'm going to cycle my cannon early right here, just in case it goes with like a Lightning on it. Then we should be able to get back to another cannon pretty quickly here, so that should be pretty nice for us here. His RG is going to get pretty close to our tower though, not really feeling too comfortable right now. I'm going to log it as well, and I'm going to go with another cannon as well, just in case. Don't really want to take any chances here. And there's only a few seconds left at this point, so I don't think you can get any RG to our tower. Just going to cycle my Earthquake, also a log. Another Earthquake as well, just with the Queen ability giving us like that 3-card cycle, so that will be a good game. Alright, hopping in the next match here. If we win this match, we should be number 1 in the world. So going to be a very high tense match here. And we're going to be up against Morton once again. This is actually Morton's mini account, so definitely will be a good match here. He's going to play a log. They're also skellies, and he kind of fails his tornado right there. So really lucky for us that his skeleton's kind of body blocked for that Hog Rider, so it didn't actually get pulled to his King Tower. Really lucky for us. And going to allow us to get 1 Hog shot as well. He does have Earthquake here, so I think it could be E-Giant most likely. I saw him playing E-Giant earlier, so I pretty much know that probably going to be an E-Giant deck from him right here. He has played the Golden Knight as well, so yeah, definitely should be E-Giant. And honestly, this matchup could be a little bit difficult just because his Earthquake does so well against our cannons, so could be quite hard to actually like distract his E-Giants, but luckily for us, the Giant Skeleton should do a pretty good job right there. And also our Queen does barely survive there, doesn't really get into the zapping range of the E-Giant, so that's really good for us, because it would have just died instantly if it had gotten a little bit closer to that E-Giant. I'm not really sure I was going to defend this right here. It's going to go with the mirror log, it looks like, but I think it's going to survive with like 1 HP right there, and looks like it will get a couple shots on his tower, and will also force out the NATO. I'm going to pressure with my Fire Spirit right now, because I know he has nothing in cycle for it. And yeah, already off to a really good start here, just from that. Really good field awareness by us kind of pressuring at the perfect times right there. But yeah, it's definitely not going to be over yet, because it will be really hard to defend mirror E-Giant pushes in double elixir especially, but not going to be as hard as the previous matches in double elixir, because it is also going to be nice to kind of stack multiple cannons and stuff like that, so it should be hopefully okay for us here. I'm going to cycle my cannon though really early, just to make sure that if he goes with an earthquake on it, we should be able to cycle back to another cannon pretty quickly here. That's why I'm playing my cannon really early right now. He'll go with the Golden Knight behind his E-Giant as well, but he does still have mirror E-Giant in cycle, so I'm going to pressure with my Hog Rider right here, just to hopefully stop him from like mirroring up his E-Giant. He does go with the earthquake anyways though, so maybe I didn't need to do that, but still going to kind of force out his cannon, and should be able to have a pretty good defense here. We do have to be a little bit careful, because I think he has another E-Giant pretty much in cycle right now, so we do have to be a little bit careful. He'll go with the Golden Knight ability there, and I'm going to pressure with my Hog Rider just to like force him to not spend an E-Giant right away. Okay, let's go with another failed NATO right there on the Hog Rider. I feel kind of bad for Morgan here, because he's a really good player, and he never really misses tornadoes and stuff like that, but he's just getting a little bit unlucky here on those skeletons. And I'm going to play a really high queen here. I know he doesn't have any tornado in cycle, so he shouldn't really be able to pull it into his E-Giant, and queen is going to do a really good job right there. Also just going to barely survive that Golden Knight dash right there. The Golden Knight is still going to kind of target the giant skeleton for a second, and I might be able to get another queen ability off here on the E-Giant. And a really good earthquake, but that's kind of slowing down his E-Giant, so our Archer Queen doesn't actually get hit by his E-Giant reflection damage things until like quite a lot later right there, so I was able to do quite a ton of damage to it. Also, this Fire Spirit might get a little bit of chip damage on the tower if he doesn't end up spending something on it. He'll play his E-Giant once again right there, so I'm going to go with the high cannon here. Also going to go with my Hog Rider just to prevent him from mirroring up his E-Giant right now. And you can really see the key of this match is just to not allow them to mirror their E-Giants. Like, you always have to pressure right as they go with their first E-Giant, that way they can't have like a mirror E-Giant ready up in cycle. So I'm going to go with my high cannon here once again. I'm going to also pressure with my Hog Rider just to make sure that he can't go with the mirror E-Giant once again. He's going to go with the cannon right there, but our cannon is going to target his cannon, so should be able to be in a pretty good spot right here. Going to go with the earthquake on his skeletons. He does go with the NATO though, so he does defend just barely. But yeah, really close to number 1 right now. If we just win this match, we're going to be number 1 in the world, so really excited for that. Haven't really ever finished too high in a global tournament before. I did finish number 2 in one global tournament, but only number 1 is good for me, so hopefully get it here. I think this Hog should be able to take. He doesn't really have anything in cycle, so yeah, he's going to play E-Giant here. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye!